Hey, what's up everybody? BDF 44 coming at you with another video. Alright, so I think the laundry situation worked out in my favor. I was able to rearrange some stuff that was in there, try to get to the crux of what was actually holding it up. And it wasn't that it was so much packed in, it was that at the bottom, what I had thrown in first was a sheet, and the sheet had wrapped around in such a way that wouldn't allow it to spin. So, the maintenance lady came in and kind of gave me a good suggestion. She was essentially saying, I told her, I was like, after figuring that out, I was able to get half of it to spin. And the other half I had just thrown into a dryer without turning it on, just to kind of let it sit there, and then I was going to wash it a second time. She was like, why don't you let it spin halfway, the halfway point, take what's in there out, throw that in the dryer, and then take what's in the dryer that you just put in and throw it in for the rest of the spin. Half a spin should actually dry your clothes or wring them out. And so that actually worked out. I did that exact thing, and it did a good job. All of it got, damp enough to dry properly. And so I threw it all in one dryer, which I think probably ain't gonna dry it fully, but my thinking was, if I use two dryers, there's two people waiting to wash, waiting for their wash to complete. Now I know that other lady had several to do. She was trying to wait on us. I'm like, look, let me not be a jerk to these people. You know what I'm saying? Just because my stuff may not dry properly. I've been sitting up here holding up a washer for 2 hours just because of this problem. Ain't no sense in compounding it. Yes, two dryers are open, but I choose only to use one of them so the other people can do their thing, because there's only 3 washers, 3 dryers in there. So if I'm using 2 because of my mistake, that feels like a jerk move. So that's what I did, man. I just used one dryer, and it equated to the same amount of money that I was hoping to spend. But I do expect I'm gonna have to use that dryer twice. I ain't interested in being a jerk today to conserve time. Plus it's gonna cost me more money, in possibly, depending on if it's necessary for me to dry what I have there twice. So we'll see. But as for now, I've only spent the amount of money I wanted to spend, and it only killed about 30 minutes of time. It wasn't the worst amount of time killing. It wasn't no 2 hours, probably extra 30 minutes. But yeah, just to fill people in, I kind of got some real help there from the maintenance lady. I would not have considered that, put it like that. So I created quite a mess in there for her to clean up though, because it was a lot of water that I had to drop onto the floor in order to get everything out of there and arranged properly. And so, yeah, man, a little bit of a frustrating morning when it came to that, but everything else, I'd imagine, is on the up and up. All my stuff is in the dryer right now, and it's not soaked. So that's great news, and nothing was discolored as far as I could tell. So that was really good news as well. But yeah, man, that's pretty much the end of that story. Hopefully everything goes well from here. Hopefully those other people are able to use the dryers, without any issue. So that's really what it's about, man. Just not being a jerk. Just because you have an opportunity to do things that work in your favor, if it hurts other people, then God's gonna kick you down in the back end. I've learned not to play with God. And I know, like, I was right next to the lady who said she wanted to use her washer and then dry everything. So it's like, you got a chance to put a face to who you're screwing over. You know what I mean? She had 2 kids. I'm not doing that. I'm not gonna do that just so my clothes can dry a little better. No, I'm not doing that. So that's really what it was, man. Just deciding not to be a jerk to people, and we'll see if it works in my favor. Hopefully most of that stuff gets dry. If not, then we'll dry it again. We'll just use the money that we otherwise would have used on 2 machines on 1 machine, and just take everything out that does dry properly, and re-dry everything that needs to be, if necessary. So no big deal, man. I'm glad that God worked that out, and that was a little frustrating to start, but we'll see what happens from here. But walking down to Target, grab my oatmeal. I don't have any plans of getting anything else, since I'm going to be moving out of that room tomorrow. It's going to be absolutely useless for me to be buying all kinds of extra stuff to have to carry back and forth. I can just go back down to Target and get anything else when I get back here on Monday, assuming everything goes smoothly with the room. So yeah, man, it's a good Saturday thus far. I don't have any complaints. other than, things were frustrating at first, but made it work. And now I'm going to take care of the business that I intended to take care of about 30 minutes ago right now. And grab what I gotta get, and that's it. So that's pretty much it, man. I really been feeling like smoking weed lately. I ain't gonna lie to you guys. I've been having the itch for it for the last couple of weeks. I'm not gonna buy any, but I genuinely feel like smoking weed right now, or just taking an edible. It don't even have to be smoking. I honestly don't prefer to smoke in this era. It'd probably be more like an edible. But I just wanted something that'll ease my mind. I don't think that would necessarily do it at all, but for whatever reason, I've had it in my mind that I want to do it. So I'm trying to win that battle, man. I really don't want to go down that path. I understand that my problem with me, my problem in this situation, I don't usually set boundaries, not proper boundaries. I start down the path of smoking, and it's like a rabbit hole that makes me want to smoke all day, every day. I'm a natural born pothead who hasn't smoked and since I've been in this situation. And so it's like, I've been through this. I've been going through this off and on since I was 12 years old, man. I tell you all the truth. I've been smoking off and on since I was 12. I became really serious about smoking when I was like 16 years old, all the way through my 20s, all the way through my 30s, you know what I'm saying? All the way up to like 9 months ago. Off and on. I would take a year off, but then would be smoking and spend all my money on it, man. It didn't make no kind of sense half of the time. I wasn't even enjoying my high. Sometimes I would smoke stuff to make me feel anxious. Sometimes I smoke stuff that would have me forgetting words, damn near dyslexic sometimes off of certain types of strands. It's like, I've had way more bad experiences with weed than I've had good, to be honest with you guys. Way more bad. And it's just a path that you get to a point where it's like you know your natural inclination is to want to get high, but you also understand at this point that it has more bad attached to it than good. So at this point, I just feel like it's something I need to overcome, not necessarily start down the path of, because I ain't gonna just want to buy some edibles and eat them today. I'm gonna want to, when those run out, get some more, and it just ends up being a money pit that I cannot afford at all. And depending on what strain is in the edibles will determine whether or not I'm even awake, because edibles hit me harder, 10 times harder than anything that I smoke. I could smoke 3 blunts, and if I have a edible cookie, it's gonna hit me even harder, the cookie, than those blunts. So it's like, I really don't need to be going down that path for any reason right now, but I have wanted to. And I told my therapist about it last time I was with her, and she talked me into considering not. And then I got sick, so I definitely wasn't buying nothing. But I just been wanting to have some THC in my system for my art projects and my playlist curation projects, for which I really do enjoy certain highs with those creative actions. And you know, for me, most of it is a financial thing. And if I were a rich person, I would be smoking as comfortably as I want to. Probably wouldn't worry about the other negative aspects of it. But as a person who's in this situation, who doesn't even have his own money, spending $12, $20, $40 on weed every 2 weeks, it's irresponsible, and it's just a mistake that doesn't have to be made. So just ask for everybody to pray for everybody. I never asked y'all to pray for me. Pray for everybody. If you pray for everybody, it'll land on me. And that's essentially what I'm asking you to do. Pray for everybody. This is what I'm going through. I really miss my way of doing things, but not the bad that came with it. Not the way I felt my lungs felt. Not the way I didn't have dreams. You know what I mean? I was telling you, I don't dream when I smoke. I don't miss some of the bad strands, the ones that make me feel anxious, or the self-consciousness that I feel in presence of others when I'm high, a good portion of the time. Never feel like I can enjoy my high in the presence of other people. It's a lot of stuff that I don't want nor miss that have to do with putting THC in my body. And those are the things that I think I need to pay most attention to as I struggle with wanting to smoke again, with missing some of the positive aspects of smoking weed. And that man is in a Leonardo, full-fledged Ninja Turtle Leonardo. I got wearing that. It ain't October nothing. Is that Donatello? Yeah, that's Donatello. My favorite, actually. Yeah, no kidding. Now, if I were high, I would really be tripping out on that. Probably works for probably one of them dudes that work in Hollywood that walk around in the uniforms, or somebody who works there getting ready to do a party for kids or something like that. That's my guess. I don't think he's actually just walking around that way, but I had to show y'all. Donatello was my favorite Ninja Turtle, by the way. He really was. But anyway, so that's what I've been dealing with, man. Is fighting with this desire to be high again, smoke weed again, or something, edibles, whatever the hell I'm trying to do. And you know, sometimes you just got to talk your way through it, or remind yourself of the negative that you don't want to have nothing to do with. Not to mention edibles is candy, it's cookies and stuff like that I don't need to be eating for my dietary reasons. You know, that kind of thing. So sugar and stuff, my body don't react very well to sugar to begin with. So yeah, man, just trying to get through the struggle of doing things like being alone and trying to figure out what you want to do with yourself. When you start getting to a point where you want to do things that you used to do and it ain't good for you, or that you remember good aspects of it, but there's more bad than good. It's like, man, the Lord just get me through this era without making any decisions that you're not okay with, that I'm not going to be okay with, that I'm going to have to fight my way and pray my way away from. You know what I'm saying? Don't go down rabbit holes that you know end up sucking you in and it's hard to get away from. You know, that's what it is. Any type of addiction, any type of drug addiction specifically, especially when you've had trouble with it all your life. You know, I want you to know that I've never had no real drugs in my system, but when it comes to marijuana, I can relate to a lot of people who struggle with the off and on. I've been sober for 15 years, but now I just want to take a drink. Trust me, man, I have that type of personality. I have an addictive personality. I just don't find myself ever desiring certain things that everybody seems to be wanting. Drugs, real drugs, alcohol, I don't like none of that stuff, so it ain't gonna be those things that I'm addicted to. But marijuana, that's been a problem for me, a problem. And I'm willing to say that it was that. I enjoyed it in certain cases. I had a whole era where I didn't dislike what I was doing. You know what I mean? It got me through some terrible times when I had some bad jobs. You know what I mean? I'm not going to sit here and act like I didn't enjoy aspects of being a pothead. It's probably what I struggle with, is how much I feel I may enjoy certain aspects of it today, especially since there's dispensaries everywhere around this place. But I don't feel like it is responsible for me to go down that path. So that's really what it is, man. So I want to encourage everybody to keep on fighting. I don't know if I'll give in at some point or not, but right now I'm trying to win this battle against that. It's like I'm trying to win battles against all kinds of different sins, man, and all different types of stuff that ain't good for me, that I cannot afford. You know what I mean? So know you're not alone if you're struggling, man, but also understand that you can fight these battles, man. I'm trying to fight mine, you fight yours. We keep on taking the steps forward, one foot in front of the other. So that's pretty much what I gotta say. My name is BDF 44. I thank y'all for watching. Bye.